Big g'day and welcome to another edition of RDFNL TV. Thanks to our friends at On Time Delivery Solutions. My name's Yeendy. I'm joined by Tara Murray from the Star Weekly, one of the best journos in the business. And we've been looking at clubs ahead of the 2019 preparation and all the information that's coming out. We're talking up the mighty Wallan side over at Green Hill Reserve, and I think it's business as usual over there with the Pies. They're continuing to kick and shoot goals.
It is, and obviously, they've been one of the busy sides. They have announced a few of their signings on their Facebook page. Obviously, the netball looks like they've kept most of that side that did take them to a top three finish last year, which was massive for them, having not had an A-grade side the year before. And the football, obviously, they returned to finals. Probably not quite how they wanted to end the season, but at the same time, you had your 19s in a grand final and your reserves in a grand final as well. So you've still got a lot of site depth there, and their seniors played finals, so exciting times down there.
Let's talk about their senior football. Obviously, probably didn't get the success that they were hoping for. Dan Nugget Nolan will be coaching them again. Really the biggest departure has been a superstar, reigning, defending Bowen medalist, that is Jessie Davies, who has gone back home, I think it's to Craigieburn.
Craigieburn, yes.
So another case of a Bowen medalist, a player winning a Bowen medal one year and then either departing or having injury the next. So we've got a bit of a history of that at the moment. But Jessie has been a fantastic contributor to the RDFNL system, and not just a good player, but I know he's carving it up on the motocross as well. He's won numerous national titles since the year's finished. So he's an all-round athlete, all-round good guy, and again, one of those other players that's left on good terms, and the door's always open for him to come back.
Well, that's what, as you said, he's gone back to his club where he'd come from. So he had played in a premiership with Craigieburn before coming across into Wallan and spent a couple of seasons there. And Craigieburn seemed to have attracted a few former players back to their club for next season. A couple of Corey Villani's another one, Stephen Boyle, who we both know from Broadford, yep, who were previously in the RDFNL. So they've looked to get a few local boys back into their side. So they've lost him. They've lost Sam Rex Tepe as well. He's gone across to Laylaw in the Northern Football League. I think they lost a couple of others, but they're probably the key couple of ones they've lost. But they have added some players in. They've Michael Tang, who is a former VFL player who has been playing in Tasmania. But the big one they've been talking about is Matt Perry. So I think they've been trying to get Matt across for a number of years. Never seen Matt play footy, but he's not a bad cricketer either as well. Yep. And he's known to be part of successful sides. He's kicked a lot of goals in recent years. He's taken his side to grand finals and premierships, and even on the cricket field, I think his cricket side, River Gums, won 4 premierships out of the last 6 and played in 6 straight grand finals. So it says he knows what it's like to be part of a winning culture, and that's probably something handy to come for Wallan. Obviously, they're looking to get back on the winners list in senior finals, to get someone with his experience not only help kick goals and provide a target up forward, but that experience of being part of a winning culture.
I'll be really interested to see how he is used in 2019, because as you said, he is a goal kicker. But you look at Wallan this year, they had Sam Rex Tepe as their major forward target, they did rely on a good spread of goal kickers. That was a big part of their game plan. Do they sort of change things up a little bit and maybe sort of go down have that sort of key forward and use him a bit more, or do they sort of continue on with the spread of players? Well,
interesting. Speaking to another coach, he said Matt Perry's not the tallest player. He's probably more in a mould of a Hayden Ross.
Yep.
And we've seen, obviously, Hayden Ross led the goal kicking last year. You had Jason Cook the season before. So they're not your traditional key forwards. And we've looked at both Riddle and Macedon the last 2 seasons. They've had a range of other goal kickers as well. They've had those key goal kickers, but they've had other guys that are able to do the job. So it's going to be interesting. That's another key forward who isn't necessarily like a Dylan Weir, one of your tall key forwards, a small one that people are going to have to line up on. So you probably fit in well with that, because then you've got the other options of others that can kick goals.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is sort of shaping up to be quite a positive year. They're under 19 and a halves, made the grand final, going down to Rupertswood, a game where they were probably favoured to win as well. Got enormous talent coming through there that will no doubt have a good run at senior level in 2019.
And their reserves made the grand final as well. So we said they've got a lot of talent coming through, and they've sort of shown that the last couple of years. Their 19s won the premiership the year before, defeating Rupertswood. So there is a lot of talent coming through that club, and they're another one that is trying to bring that through into the seniors.
I did have a club 18s in 2018 as well, so to have a lot of those, I think it's about sort of having personnel around the club and having people, in this case, be playing footy. I think it's pretty exciting if you can generate 4 senior teams that play on a Saturday or a Friday night. It's great for the club.
Exactly, and their netball program's thriving as well, and that's the thing. seems to be thriving across the club, off field and both football and netball.
Let's talk up Chris Cameron, who won the Coach of the Year for 2018, and let's be honest, for what he's been able to achieve with that club in just his first year, he's a national player at netball level in his own right, and had tremendous experience elsewhere. What he's been able to do for that club, it's just been absolutely amazing.
It is. That A grade side was really, really strong. Probably they've lacked a little bit of depth at times. I know their C grade side did struggle and was down towards the bottom of the ladder, but what their A grade side did, they finished third. They didn't obviously have the results they were after in finals, being knocked out by Rockbank in the first week of the finals, so that would have been a little bit disappointing.
Any other year that probably wouldn't have happened. It was Rockbank just had an amazing run.
And I think they did miss a couple of players due to VNL commitments as well, which we know it did affect several sides across the finals. But you look at that, most of that group's come back. You've got a lot of young talent in that. You've got Georgia Burkett, Georgia Grimmond, Isabella Hines, Matilda Leatham, and Chloe Melmeisters have all signed to come on. And now they've added Chloe Coffin, who does come with VNL experience. And if I've done my research right, I think would be the same Chloe Coffin that did play a lot of under-19 netball for Rupertswood a number of years ago. So she's got experience in this league, and a few people would know her, but they've added more young talent, and that's sort of what they've built their list on, is just young talent.
It seems like there is a lot of great things that sort of happening around the club, and the important thing is as well is that people are just going on. They're flocking in great numbers to watch what exciting things happen next. And I think if you're a Wallan fan, there's nothing to not be excited about, because you've just got so much talent leading the club on and off the field, and it's exciting.
Exactly, and that's what you want. You want that excitement building at the club.
Absolutely, and you do know where the ground is, just to double check.
I have been up there.
Yes.
I may have watched a bit of cricket up there once.
Oh, there you go. So, Shep, if you are watching there, you'll expect this one to be watching plenty of games next year, or you just never know what could happen. They might try and sign you up to be their number one ticket holder, which would be very fascinating. But we'll watch with great interest to see how the Pies lock and load for 2019. If you are a fan, there's lots to be excited about. Tara, thanks so much for jumping on board, and we look forward to seeing what else comes about from the club in the near future.
Thanks for having me.